Hi, my name is Cindy and welcome to Snacks and Stacks. I like to talk about books, TVs, and movies. First, I want to show off my new tea station. We kind of did a mini renovation of our kitchen and now we have this very pretty island, and which you can't see, but also our kind of wooden countertops now, and we used the leftover wood to build these shelves and I love it. Alrighty. So today we're going to talk about a TBR of sorts. It's going to be for the whole of spring. It's not going to be just March or sorry, just April, because I don't know when I'll get to all of these, but I am hoping to get to them within the next quarter. So if you've watched my videos before, you'll know that I don't normally do TBRs, and that's because I'm a big mood reader. However, this year I'm doing two different challenges, and one is the 52 book challenge. I'll link the challenge website below, but I have my little reading logbook. And they basically give you 52 different prompts. And so far what I've been doing is just reading books that I want to read and then trying to find a prompt that will match. And so far I have read 17 out of 52 of these. So it's working, but I do think I need to kind of focus in and try to pick some of the prompts and pick books that are specific to the prompts. And so I have two of them today that should kind of check that off. So there's that. And then my other challenge is my completed series challenge, which I have another video where I kind of talk about it. But basically I started by reading the first chapter of every duology that I own and trying to read the books that I own and read completed series because it's so satisfying. And I was able to complete one duology, this Poison Heart duology, and I was able to DNF another, which kind of helps me just like clean up my collection and make sure they're books that I like to read and have. So the prompt that I'm going for in this first book is set in spring. They have set in spring, summer, fall, and winter, but each one has to be a different genre, which is a little hard because I pretty much read the same couple of genres. But I already did set in summer, and that was a contemporary romance, and I've already done set in winter, and that was historical fantasy. And both of them had summer and winter in the title, but I've been having a hard time finding a book with spring in the title that I've liked. So I'm gonna kind of stray away from that because I also really want to read The Secret Garden. This genre would be a classic, and it's a children's classic, so it's something I don't normally read, and I've been feeling like I would like a change. So if you've never heard of The Secret Garden, I'm just going to read the little blurb here. After the death of her parents in India, sullen and self-absorbed, Mary Lennox is sent to live on her uncle's estate on the Yorkshire moors. Exploring the grounds, Mary discovers a walled garden locked up, abandoned, and in ruins. And in a distant room in the house, she finds a cousin she never knew existed, Colin, an invalid, ignored by his father and expecting to die. Mary and Dickon, the housemaid's spirited brother, befriends Colin and set about restoring the garden, which opens up a world of magic, reconciling the children to the world of life. Originally published in 1911, The Secret Garden, an extraordinary novel that has influenced writers such as Eliot and Lawrence, highlights the transforming powers of love, joy, and nature, and of mystical faith and positive thinking. So yeah, that's my first kind of like want to read within these next couple months TBR. That's my first TBR book. The next prompt that this should kind of work for is audiobook, has multiple narrators. Because it's a contemporary romance, so there's usually two narrators, and I did check it, and there are two. For that prompt, you don't have to listen to the audiobook, you can read the book. Double checking if it could work for something else. It could probably also be author releases more than one book a year, since this author will be releasing another book at the end of the year. So I could use it for either one of those prompts, but that book is First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. I'm so excited to read this book. This is probably the next physical book that I pick up because I love B.K. Borison. She's one of my favorite romance authors. I don't know what it is. It's just like the things that she writes. It's heartwarming. It's sweet. There's a little bit of drama, but not so much that I'm annoyed by it. And I just love it. So this is a hopeless romantic meets a demoralized radio host in this cozy, sleepless in Seattle-inspired love story. There's more on the back, so if you want to check it out, you can. I don't want to read too much about it because I've actually never seen Sleepless in Seattle, but I want to read it, and then I want to watch Sleepless in Seattle and kind of like see the differences and the similarities. So I feel bad because I have high expectations, but I am very excited to start this book. So then the next two books are kind of just part of my completed series challenge. Sorry for getting like super close to your face there. Next two books are part of my completed series challenge. I will probably eventually pull out all of my trilogies and read the first chapter, but I've kind of been gravitating towards these two books in particular, and I think it's just because I've heard so much about them, and I have nearly every book in these trilogies, so I really think that one of these two will be the next ones. The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. This book is about how everyone in this town can hear everyone's thoughts. And it says, just a month away from the birthday that will make him a man, Todd and his dog Manchi, whose thoughts Todd can hear too, whether he wants to or not, stumble upon an area of complete silence. They find that in a town where privacy is impossible, something terrible has been hidden, a secret so awful that Todd and Manchi must run for their lives. And how do you escape when your pursuers can hear your every thought? So like, I don't know, it just sounds so good. And I know there's a movie out with this too, so I've kind of just been like wanting to read this a lot. I keep seeing it, and I've been wanting to read it since I got these books because, let me try to get to a page that's got it. The way it's written, like, I've seen where it's like really prominent. There's some font changes on the page, and I want to know why. And I just like, what is this page? Why is it like this? So it gets me excited to read the physical book because it's like different. And I have all three books, even though the first book's a different edition than the other ones, which is driving me a little nuts. But hopefully I can find the other cover used so I can replace it. So vain, Cindy. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just like, this sounds really interesting to me. I think I've been reading too many of like similar types of books in fantasy, so this seems like it would be a little bit different. And then I also really want to pick up Scythe. I keep seeing it on my shelf, and I'm like, I just need to know what this series is about. So this says, Doubt shall kill, a world with no hunger, no disease, no war, no misery. Humanity has conquered all those things and has even conquered death. Now scythes are the only one who can end life, and they are commanded to do so in order to keep the size of the population under control. Citra and Rowan are chosen to apprentice to a scythe, a role that neither wants. These teens must master the art of taking life, knowing that the consequence of failure could mean losing their own. They learn living in a perfect world comes only with a heavy price. I want to read it. It's been sitting on my shelf for so long. I have the first two books, and I just feel like it's time. It's actually very interesting because this one's so different from the stories that I'm consuming right now. One, where there's a pandemic and like nearly everyone is dead. And then two, I've been watching Fallout, the TV show, which is where the nuclear bomb happens and there's like people living in vaults and you come up and there's some people, but it's like opposite of perfect, right? So I think it would be interesting to read these two. I also really want to read Scythe because I think this would be a really good book for my son to read and for us to like read together and talk about. And I forgot to grab these because my timer rang and my tea was ready, but I'll just pop them up here. I'm also thinking about reading Emily Wilde. I think that would be read really well in the springtime. I feel kind of bad that I forgot to grab Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies up to tell you guys that is also on my TBR. So here's me holding it up. This is about a curmudgeonly professor journeys to a small town in the far north to study fairy folklore and discover dark fae magic, friendship, and love, and the start of a heartwarming and enchanting new fantasy series. It's supposed to be like kind of cozy, kind of romancy, and I've heard amazing things about it, and I really want to read it. So that is also in my TBR stack. So I just felt bad not pulling it up, and like I love these editions. So also I think this also works with the prompts for the 52 book challenge, because one of them says that the cover is the primary color. This is blue. So yeah. And another one for my in-person book club, we are going to be reading The Drowning Woman by Robin Harding. That is a thriller, which is exciting because I normally don't read those. From the best-selling author of The Party comes a dark and wild ride of redemption, betrayal, and friendship, following a homeless woman fleeing a dangerous past and the wealthy society wife she saves from drowning. Lee Gulliver never thought she'd find herself living on the streets. No one ever does. But when her restaurant fails, she falls deeper into debt. She leaves her old life behind with nothing but her clothes and her Toyota Corolla. In Seattle, she parks in a secluded spot by the beach to lay low and plan her next move until one early morning, she sees a sobbing woman throw herself into the ocean. Lee hauls the woman back to the surface, but instead of appreciation, she is met with fury. The drowning woman, Hazel, tells her that she wanted to die, and that she's trapped in a toxic, abusive marriage, and that she's a prisoner in her own home. Lee has thwarted her one chance to escape her life. Out of options, Hazel retreats to her gilded cage, and Lee thinks that she's seen the last of her until her unexpected return the next morning. Bonded by desperate but difficult circumstances, the women soon strike up a close and unlikely friendship. Then one day, Hazel makes a shocking request. She wants Lee to help her disappear. It'll be easy, Hazel assures her, but Lee soon learns that nothing is as it seems, and that Hazel may not be the friend Lee thought she was. Dun dun dun! That is very descriptive for a thriller. I feel like that was a lot of information. Okay, anyways, that is my spring TBR. Let me know if any of these books are on your TBR. I think I'm going to try to do a buddy read with Chelsea from Libraries and Lattes. So that's going to be really exciting. But other than that, let me know. What are you expecting to read this spring? Give me some titles. If you're doing the 52 book challenge or have any interest in it, that would be great. Some of the books on there, some of the prompts on there, I'm not really even sure. I know one is called like a climate story, and I don't know what to do for that at all. Happy binging, happy reading, happy snacking. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Challenges and sorry, why'd I do that? Oh, that was loud. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Ooh, wait. I forgot, like a TBR of sorts for shows and movies. I'm not prepared for this.